On no account should you borrow money or loan to start an agribusiness, be it crop production or animal farm. It is best to borrow money for expansion. And another thing is that for you to start with what you know or you have knowledge of. That being said, do you really think there is any business one can start with little or no money in this current day inflation? Yes, there are tons of business. It all depends on your drive and motivating factor. There are countless businesses, and I'm going to tell you some few ones. All you just need to do is to watch till the end and be patient with time, because patience, they say, is a virtue. What's up, my people? Welcome to my YouTube channel, Life of a Farmer Love, where we discuss farming in details. I remain your anchor, Ishokri of Okeroyi. You can call me Ovorans, and if this is your first time, you are welcome. Just make sure to subscribe, click the bell icon so that you get notification anytime I upload a new video. Like, share, and drop your questions in the comment section. Thank my old and new subscribers. You guys are awesome. Without wasting your time, let's dive into the main cocoa. Oftentimes, people tend to say farming is capital intensive. You need huge money for startup, and there is this big question of how do I start with no money, no land, no collateral to obtain loan. Today, I want to bust your bubble by telling you that you can actually start a farm business without a dime in your pocket. Patience is just the key. First thing you need is to know that there is always a starting point, and you just have to start small. If you want to go into farming or any other business, is land. If you don't have land, then you have to use the old school method or the ancient method. I'm pretty sure you know one or two persons that their land is lying fallow. Meet them. It could be a cousin, it could be an uncle, it could even be a friend or a father or a mother. Tell them you want to use their land for farming, and make sure not to plant permanent crops since the land does not belong to you. Make them to know that you are helping them to also maintain the land to prevent encroachment from nearby landowners. By the time you meet 3 to 5 persons, I believe one must be willing to give you the land to cultivate or to farm on. The next step is to think of what to plant that requires less money, matured early. One of such are the vegetables such as fluted pumpkin, tomatoes, fresh pepper, maize, okra, cucumber, watermelon, Irish potato. All these are crops that can mature within a short period of time. Let me give you a practical example. For instance, this pumpkin on the farm were planted when I had no money. It was a lady that came to buy broilers from me that gave me some seeds to plant. That period, the farm wasn't in production due to the avian influenza. After she gave me the seeds, she told me that after sales, I should pay her, and the total money was about 28,000 naira. I took the seeds, I planted them, and in no distant time, they've germinated, they grew leaves because we were applying manure on them. So from this pumpkin you are seeing now, we have made sales more than 3 times, and we are still selling. And I can gladly beat my chest to say that we've made over 100,000 naira from this pumpkin alone, and I have paid the lady her 28,000 naira. Another example is this pepper that you are seeing. The seeds of this pepper were not bought. My boys just went to the market to buy fresh pepper, which they normally use for cooking on the farm. And while they were washing the pepper, they just threw some seeds away, and they started germinating. They playfully transplanted them, and initially their plan was just to pluck and use for cooking instead of going to market to buy pepper. But to their notice, the pepper grew and produced more than what they could consume, and they started selling them. I was shocked the other day when they harvested about 12-liter bucket full of pepper and sold it 5,000 naira. That was just the one that I am aware of. Before now, I knew each time they will always pluck like very few ones and sell to the women in the market. You cannot see that if these boys wanted to go into pepper plant, they don't need to go and buy pepper. With 0 naira, they've established pepper plant, and they will be making cool money from the sales of this fresh pepper. Another interesting way you can start farming without money using the ancient method is by engaging in farming. This is for those that want to go into animal production or fisheries. I will tell you from my experience. Way back in 2010, while I was working as a farm supervisor in Akure, Ondo State of Nigeria, there was this young boy called Ali. He is from Ivory Coast. Along the line, he so much loved the farm that on one fateful day, Ali met me and he said, "Boss, I want to have poultry in the future when I go back home." When I saw his zeal, I informed my boss then about it, and he said, "How can we then help him?" That was when I came up with a plan with my boss that, okay, boss, let's be giving him 1/3 of his salary while you save the remaining ones for him. When we did the calculation, we now discovered that in 3 years, the boy will be able to raise money that will raise raise 100 layers from day one till point of lay. So that was how we started helping the boy. Called him, we told him this is what we'll be giving him, and by the end of 3 years he will be able to have 100 layers, and the boy was very happy. After 3 years, my boss, being a kind man, have to give him 100 layers from his own layers, and he was providing feed for him. So the boy has 100 layers in his boss farm. You can see the logic. When this 100 layers started producing, the boss was selling it for him, and the boy was making money while other workers were still working for him as well. And the long run, before you know it, after some time, the boy said he's going back to Ivory Coast, that is Sierra Leone. He's going back to Sierra Leone to start up his farm, that he has acquired the knowledge that he needed to acquire. And when I did the mathematics, the boy worked for roughly 5 years on the farm, and he was able to save enough money that enabled him start up. This is not just fairy tale, it's a true life story that I am telling you. Mind you, there are certain things you need to know before you start a poultry business if you don't want to fail. I will advise you to watch the next video. I will also drop the link in the description box. Another ancient theory for you to have a farm without having money. This method or principle, when applied, could catapult you to your financial freedom. This is by meeting a family member or a friend to lend you his or her land to use for farming. I remember way back in year 2000 when my dad was introduced into piggery farming by his friend that is a vet doctor. My uncle later gave my dad a part of his land within his compound that my dad should use. His doctor friend then went and bought 3 pigs for him to start with. Just at the paturation from both houses, we had 19 piglets. By the second paturation, the whole place was filled. We had to relocate to the village for 2 reasons. 1, because of space for expansion, and 2, neighbors were complaining of the smell. This happened in a space of less than 2 years. You cannot see that it is determination that gives birth to success. If you are able to secure a space even at your backyard, you can think of going into farming that won't cost you money for feeding or maintenance. Such farming could be goat, sheep, grass cutter, rabbitry, snail, and so many others. All these listed only need space for cage for 1 or 2, and these animals only need grasses or legumes to thrive with little or no medication. And before you know it, you have gotten a large farm at your backyard. If you are persistent enough, you will be thinking of expansion in less than 2 years. I know you are eager to start small and grow big, but this won't be possible if you don't have basic knowledge of what are likely to encounter in your journey to be a great farmer. I therefore advise you to click the link to watch the next video on why farmers quit farming, as it will expose you to secrets no farmer will tell you. Do not also forget to watch what you should know before starting a fish farm if you really want to go into fish farming to make profit. It is a must watch for intending and existing farmer. Please subscribe and click the bell icon for prompt notification anytime I upload a video. Like, share, and drop your questions in the comment section. Thanks for being there. See you in my next video. Peace out.